What's going on, everybody? It's Falchion with you once again. And once again, we are here with, as always, the Geek Master. Say what's up to the people, Geek.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you feel welcome. Hope you find a home.
Also with us today is Plank. Say what's up.
What's up, peeps?
So today we got some handheld stuff that we're going to be talking about. But before we do that, I'm going to give Geek the chance to talk about the stuff that we missed last week because I ran long. My bad. So, Geek, the show is yours.
No, we can't do that.
DT, welcome to the show, bro. I'm glad you could make it after all that moonshine that you had today.
What's going on, D?
Welcome to the show, bro. Welcome. So, what you got for us, Geek?
It's not that segment, bro. The games is at the end.
Okay.
If Falchion doesn't have a tantrum and a rant.
Look, all right. So, look. We're not talking about anybody who makes me mad today. Actually, I'm excited. I'm excited about what's going on in the gaming world because I thought that this was what's going to be happening, I can't say for sure that it is, but it's felt to me for a long time that it's going to be. This is the direction that things were going to be going, and so I've been kind of preparing for it. I guess. So yeah, but okay. If you're waiting, then let's jump into a story that J Law sent to me. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. Where is it? So J Law sends me a text message today, and he's excited, and I'm surprised by this, but I'm all over the place right now. A copy of Super Mario 64 sells for $1.5 million. Now, I've known about grading as far as comic books go, as far as coins go, and it just so happens that Plank is a big comic book collector and has actually had his comics graded. I didn't know they were doing this with video games, though. Right? So this game, this copy of Super Mario 64 was graded at a 9.8 and sold at auction for that grade. So it's almost perfect, right? That's what that means, Point?
Yeah, it's almost perfect. Like, obviously, getting a 10 on a grading scale, like, there has to be, it's got to be the perfect of the perfect of the perfect. Like, nothing wrong with it at all. But a 9.8 is pretty daggone perfect. As close to perfect as you can get in the grading world. So, they've, them asking that price for it and actually getting that price for it. I wonder, did it say what it started at?
Let's see what it says here. Probably about here.
Oh, wait, I think I see it at the bottom. I think it says 670,000. It started on Friday and got up to 1.5. Like, there's more money than sense out there, and people are crazy about their childhoods. And if you've got dumb money, you can do dumb things. I don't want to say it's dumb, but
Right. Hey, Kimberly, welcome. I'm trying to be good this week. Good.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm going into kind of
the rants.
Another thing, but like the NFTs or the non-fungible tokens is kind of the same thing. Anything of value can be graded and given a price tag, and in this situation, they have a perfect copy of your childhood still in box, untouched, and they're basically wrapping it as art, less of a game. You know what I mean? Less of a toy that you played with. So,
I can see that. I can see. I mean, I remember back in the day, DT, him, Hori, um, Plink, Manny, all of us
yeah,
chilling back in the day playing Mario 64 or like we had in the group, we had a Turbo Graphics. We had all the systems. Nobody had all the systems at once. I mean, I had a collection of systems back then, but nobody, like, I didn't get them all at once. You know what I mean? They came over time. So, but I remember us going to each other's houses, and hanging out, playing these different games, and looking at this copy of Mario 64. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, so the feels that it touches for me aren't as deep as something else that may come up. Or even like, and I can't even really say that, because I'm thinking about when you and I and TJ used to play Bushido Blade,
yeah.
right? Like that. When I think about that game on the on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, that we had to turn upside down because that little
This drive
pin
didn't work
broke,
right. Yeah.
and so you had to turn it down upside down to make it work. So yeah, I mean, I can understand the feelings, and like, yeah, looking at this box, it actually does.
I mean, if you think about it, at the time, this was top of the line. This was the
Yeah,
talk of the world when Mario 64 came out. This was cutting edge technology, and like I said, they're packaging this like it's art, and it has a resellable value now. So if you bought it at 1.5 million or 1.6 million, it was 1.5 million, yeah, the
right.
price isn't going to go, that much different the next time you sell it. You're going to at least get 1.5, maybe 1.4 for it. You know what I mean? Because now it's on record that it cost 1.5 million to get this thing.
Right.
So now we have a value for a real world value for this.
Can you do me a favor? You were showing me earlier one of your graded comics. Can
Right.
you bring that up?
Sure.
Because I have some questions.
Sure. So I have two of them just right here at my hand. For anybody, that's Sandman #1, and that's Dark Knight 3 #1 with a variant cover. And
all right. So, can you open these?
No.
I know you don't want to open them. I know you don't want to, but is it easy to open it if somebody decided that they were going to open one? I know you don't want to.
No. Okay. And I will tell you, I have another comic that's not within my hands. Yeah. I have a Wolverine variant that is signed by Joe Quesada. And when I bought it, I bought it in what they call a slab, that plastic case that goes around it. The slab was broken. So I got a really good deal on it. I got it for $15, but you're talking about something that's signed by Joe Perez. The problem with it, though, was that now the slab is open. They no longer will verify the signature.
Oh, wow.
Even though the slab, this particular incident, this slab has a serial code on it. All of these have serial codes on them. Yeah. So they can match it to the comic. They can match it to the grading and things like that. They can match the signature. They know that signature is on file. I can go look it up on the internet. But they will not re-slab it and say that is Joe Quesada's. I mean, Joe Perez's. I'm sorry, not Joe Perez. I keep saying Joe Perez. Joe Quesada's signature. And so I have a comic that's Joe Quesada signed, but I can't verify it and I can't grade it. We lost your mic. We lost your lavalier. So like, it's sad, that I'm in that situation, but at the same time, it's my childhood. It's something I got a hold of, and I got it for cheap. I can always tell the story that I have Joe Quesada's signature on something, and maybe I can find him one day and he'll verify it for me with CGC in front of them so that they can actually say that I had the provenance for my comic book. Let's see. We lost you, man. Oh no. Geek, what do you got? I guess until he fixes his mic, what do you got?
I was bringing something up right now, but
Okay.
it's not ready to go.
Oh no.
Let's do something quick.
I mean, I could talk on and on and on about comic books, but this is a gaming show,
Well, finish his thought on the grading.
So
for games, because
it's the same company. So CGC is one of the major companies. There's two major companies. Yeah, CGC and somebody else. What's up, Scotsman? CGC is the major grader, and you basically need a pristine, unopened copy of something. You pay for their subscription. You pay to have them graded. The crazy thing about it, so like, it's not just a flat rate either. So like, for me in my comic, I think it was like $25 for it to get it graded. But like, if you're talking about, let's say, a Superman #1 or something like that, they're not going to just give you $25 to grade that thing. They want to break their foot off in you. So it's going to be about like $5,000 to have that graded.
They want their piece.
Yeah. Because I mean, to be honest, again, they're giving it provenance. They're giving it verification that this is what it is, and so they're kind of doing you a favor at the same time. And I think this will only become more popular of a thing. Now, for all you collectors and game collectors out there and whatnot, you talk about hindsight being 2020 and watching this happen. Imagine Pokemon, the first Pokemon game graded, sealed in a box right now. How much do you think that would be worth? Considering how big of an empire Pokemon is. The cards alone graded are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Charizard is $300,000 graded.
It's what?
Yeah. In fact, I mean, like, anybody that's watching right now, you can go on YouTube right now. There's a famous episode of Pawn Stars where a guy brings in a bunch of graded Charizard Pokemon cards. Yeah. He was like the #1 collector of Charizard perfect copies. And all of these, I think he wanted $10 million for his collection, which is actually reasonable of his ask, because they were worth that much money. They were sealed. They were all in perfect condition. They all had provenance. They could track them, and they were rare. They were super rare. People with stupid money buy stupid things.
Clearly, I'm in the wrong business.
I mean, hindsight is 2020. If you still had all your toys from a kid,
yeah, because
in a box.
Falchion and I both had the Pong console.
Yeah.
And I had the Pong Deluxe that had like the old revolver pistol.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that would have been worth something.
Yeah,
Keisha.
I'm on Forbes right now, and they said that the Charizard, the most valuable card, was a Charizard at $311,000 for a card.
Hey,
that
Keisha,
was
how's it
created.
going? I hope you guys can hear me now.
Yeah, we got you.
Yes,
We're
we
good.
can hear you now. Keisha, what was your first game ever?
Like,
But
Your first console, your first video game.
I just think about some of the stuff that I had. Like, I was an avid GI Joe collector. Like, I
me
had
too. Me too.
tons of GI Joes. My mom would buy me just boatloads of GI Joes, and you think about it, like Sergeant Slaughter. I bought actually, we're talking about it. I bought. I used to do eBay sales, and I bought Yu-Gi-Oh. So you know that card deck holder
That
that
you know that
Yu-Gi-Oh
I've been
has?
wanting
I
for.
didn't know until I told you that story.
Oh my goodness, I've wanted that
So
for forever.
Yu-Gi-Oh has this thing that he holds on his arm. It's like this
The
gigantic
dueling deck.
Yes.
That's what it
And
is.
it
The
holds
dueling deck.
all of his cards in it.
Yeah, and that's
So
how you
can
duel.
play. Yeah, and you play off it. You look cool, with this thing, right? So I saw it for sale at the thrift store for $7, still in the box. Yeah,
Oh
and I was like, sure, no problem. Somebody's gonna like that, right? That's
Yeah.
somebody's
Yeah.
gonna want that. How about I get and sell that thing for $250? That I bought for $7.
I would have bought it from you for $200.
I wouldn't have done that to you though. I'd
It
been like,
wouldn't. You would have been doing me a favor, honestly. Like, so
it was
wow.
nuts. Because I actually, again, I talked to my comic book guy after the event, because I met my comic guy after this happened, and he was like, dude, I knew a ton of people that would have bought that from you, like off the streets right then and there.
Seriously. Seriously.
Because they want to duel.
Yeah. My wife would have been looking at me sideways like, why are you running around with the house with that on your arm?
Put it back in the box.
She would have seen me and my dog ready to go. Let's go, Sasha. Ready to go. Right? Kunai.
Yep. Calling out the blue eyes white dragon. But yeah.
Man.
It's nuts.
Seriously. Seriously.
1.5. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
That's insane. And I mean, I'm thinking about like the box upstairs in the spare room filled with box games, right? That I have. And now I'm wondering, man, actually, you know what? I some of those are still. Still in the. Yeah, see, my wife.
Yeah. While I'm talking to you, I just looked it up on CNN real quick just to see Super Mario Brothers 9.6, not even the 9.8, and 9.6 Super Mario Brothers sold for $660,000, sealed.
That's crazy. I have some sealed games up there that I just never got around to. That happens for me a lot. I have so many games that. There are games that I get knowing that I want to play them and I never get around to them. And there's some up there that I just never opened. Yeah. So, wow.
I bought I got Shadowrun thrift store. Again, I bought a pack of Super Nintendo games in a Ziploc bag for $10. Yeah. It was just a random amount. I think it was like 6 games and they were in there. And Shadowrun was in there. And Shadowrun, I think I sold for $75. That's without the box, without the book.
Wow.
So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it's nuts. All those games, they're our childhood, and somebody wasn't.
It's kind of funny. Evil says that his was Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Master Drive, right, or Mega Drive, and over here we had the Master System. Is that what it was called?
We had the Genesis. They had the Mega Drive.
Yeah,
we had the Genesis.
It's crazy to even think about like the differences about what these machines were overseas and everything. And that's what I'm missing from my collection is like the overseas, the machines that in games that came from overseas. Keisha says her first video games was the first Resident Evil. Should we
And
get our son to
that
play?
one, I guarantee that one would have been
Worth
big,
crazy money. Yeah,
would have been crazy because it was a big game. That was a really big game.
for
Some of these
sure.
games, Final Fantasy VII was huge, Tekken was huge.
Oh my goodness.
Some of these games made huge marks. Imagine a Halo unopened.
Oh, wow.
How much
That's
these games
crazy.
are worth.
Yeah. But that is insane.
It's people's challenge. Speaking of, I guess I don't know the full news on it, but apparently they on the Xbox, the original Xbox, they found another Easter egg that's been hidden for years that nobody knew about.
Really? I'll have to look for that.
But I let you
Getting
control
right
the topics.
there.
It's your show.
I mean, Jiminy, man, I'm wondering what I have now that I don't know that I have. You know what I mean? Like you go out looking for these comics and you know what you're looking for.
Right.
Right now I'm feeling like I may have something that I don't realize that I have. And that's weird and kind of exciting because now I want to look through that box and see, or those boxes up there, and see what I have. Hope they're not broken.
No, I get it. It's it's crazy to think that all these things that we played with that our parents fussed at us about playing with for years.
Right.
That's
funny.
Mom, I told you it was worth money.
Right. Man. So in other news, hold on, what's up, Shadow? Welcome to the stream, bro. Glad you can make it today.
Somebody brought up your topic. Keisha brought up your topic, man.
What is y'all's intake on the Steam? Well, let's get into that right now, Keisha. Let us go there. All right. So my big thing for a while is handheld gaming, right? So I have somewhere in a box upstairs the PSP, the PlayStation Portable, the PlayStation Vita. Over there, I have actually Plank hooked me up with the Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear, and the original Nintendo Game Boy, which had gotten lost out of my collection some years ago, and luckily Plank hooked me up with those. They're sitting right over there, and going all the way as far back as if so back in the day there was this football game, right? And all it was a bunch of blips of light that you moved around on the screen. It wasn't really a video game, but a digital game, I guess is what you called it. So that's how far back I'm just looking on my shelf over there as far as handhelds go. And I'm wondering, my question is, and actually, Shadow, I'm glad you and Keisha are here because you guys just kind of recently switched over to mainly PC gaming. What are you thinking as far as this new Steam Deck goes, right? We lost Geek. Hopefully he'll reconnect. I've been thinking about it for a long time. So, of course, around here somewhere, I have my Nintendo Switch, right? Now, this is a great console if you're into handheld gaming, I guess. If you're not, then you probably won't like this. And I know that I never really realized that those aren't. Anyways, they're not analog. I don't know why I thought they were. So if you're not into Nintendo, like a lot of people think Nintendo games are kid games, right? I mean, I guess I get that. I don't think that personally, but so your cousin had that football game? Is that what you're talking about? It's like, yeah. So as we know, Nintendo just released for pre-order their their new Nintendo Switch, which is called the Nintendo OLED or OLED, however you want to say that. And a lot of people were disappointed, right? Understandably so. Like a lot of people were really expecting like this big generational leap as far as what were some of the rumors? Some of the rumors were that it was going to be 4K when docked, and they were expecting a better sound system from it. The Switch is an amazing piece of tech, right? Because you can come home, throw it in the dock, have it on the big screen, or take it with you and keep going. Like there's no pause between that, right? You don't have to download anything new or whatever. And so they announced this new OLED model, and my first thought was I have to get it, right? Because I have to have everything. I know my wife hates that. She's just like, and she actually came in the room now, or not now, but not too long ago, yesterday maybe, and was like, so now that the Valve Stream Deck is coming out, do you still need the Switch? And no, I guess I really don't, because now you're just kind of waiting for that that bigger, better thing, that bigger, better. Let me ask you something, right? Is the Stream Deck competing with the Switch? Do you think?
Okay, so here's my thoughts on it. Yeah, so I think the Stream Deck is going to hit all of them in a particular way. It's going to hit Nintendo, it's going to hit Sony, it's going to hit Xbox, and here's why. Wow, Geek really messed up your screen there.
Yeah.
So here's why. Let's look at these new generation of consoles. Yeah, so you got the Xbox Series X and S. You have the PS5. Yeah, you have the Nintendo Switch OLED. They are essentially upgraded versions of the past generation devices. You can still play the games from the past. There's no exclusive that I'm aware of, and you can tell me, are there exclusive games to the Xbox Series X and S that you can't play on the one, and vice versa with the PlayStation and with the Switch?
Okay, so the Xbox is very friendly when it comes to backwards compatibility. You can go all the way back to the original Xbox games with the Xbox, playing them.
But what I'm talking about, hold on, I'm not talking about backwards compatibility. Okay. I'm talking about current games, because we already see Cyberpunk was released for the Xbox One. It was released for the Xbox Series S. It was released for the Xbox Series X. The only difference was how it ran on each of those devices.
Right.
All right. Same thing with the Nintendo Switch. The games that are currently that are currently on the market are the same games that are going to be on the OLED. It's just It's just a minor graphical upgrade, right?
No, it's not even a graphical upgrade. It's a better screen.
Yeah.
And that is OLED, and it's slightly bigger, less than an inch bigger. And I agree with Shadow. There's no, like, the Nintendo has all these exclusives, so nobody's ever competing directly with the Nintendo. You're not going to find Mario anywhere else unless you're looking at it.
Okay, so here's my argument for Steam Deck then. All right?
Mm-hmm.
The Steam Deck has one feature that none of these companies can compete with, and that's pricing. PC games are significantly cheaper than all console games. All right? And not only are they cheaper from straight purchase, you also have third-party vendors where they're cheaper. All right, so that's where they're going to kick these current gen consoles in the junk. and it's going to have to make them think about these models. All of these devices come at a loss. Yeah, they produce these devices at a loss. Nintendo's,
Right.
the Switch, the Xbox, all that. Scalpers have kind of got them by the balls because they can't get them in anybody's hands, so they can't make money on the games because nobody has the devices.
Right.
Steam,
and yes, Keisha, you will be able to play Destiny on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
It's just gonna push
your
it
library that you own on the PC is going to carry over to the Steam Deck.
Yeah, so if you have a Steam library, it's automatic. They're saying, they have said that every game that's on the Steam library will play on this console, right? The only real differences that I see is the physical storage in the machines, and I guess the highest one has an anti-glare screen or what have you. But the big thing is, and yeah, see, Shadow, yeah, you will be able to play Destiny. So it goes from here. Let me bring it up. I have it somewhere.
I mean, like the Steam Deck pricing. Only way that Steam could screw this up is the actual feel of it. Think back to the Steam controller. Yeah, it was it was not favorable. The Steam controller.
So the Steam controller that you bring, because if you look at this, you'll see that this has a lot of features of the Steam controller, right? Yeah. The back buttons and the two trackpads, right?
Yeah.
So, is it that people didn't give the Steam controller enough of a chance?
Well, coming from your mouth, you didn't like it.
I did not like it. Did I not give it enough of a chance? Like right now, I'm angry at myself because I know it's packed away somewhere, and I wish I could just put my hands on it and try again. Since this has come out, that's what I want to do. I want to put my hands on it and try it again. Now look at these prices, man. Like $390. This is $50 more than the new Nintendo OLED, right? For 64, and it has the same storage. And by the way, I don't know if you guys have been watching this closely. It just got announced yesterday. Before they said that you couldn't upgrade your storage, but it just got announced yesterday that even in this 64 gig version of it, there is an M.2 card slot in there. It's just really hard to get to, and most people won't be able to get in there. What's going on, J-Law?
But you could probably, and this is where, again, you could probably go to a third party, and that would be a service,
right,
to update the thing.
And Steam likes that,
and
Valve likes that.
This thing, it runs on Linux, so the operating system is going to be. That's going to be a selling point too, because the operating system is going to let you get away with a lot of stuff. When you look at like old school Nintendo DS, and they were jailbreaking that thing and trying to get and making up homebrews for all that. This thing runs on Linux. It's going to be way more versatile, way more easier to deal with.
And you can put Windows on this, right? If you choose to, you can get rid of all the Steam stuff and put Windows on it and use it as let me show you what's going on, all right? Because I'm excited about this, right? And this is why I wanted you in here with Geek. As far as you guys are more computer driven than I am, although I play a lot on PC. Like J-Law is a PlayStation guy. If I were to honestly say it, I would say Geek leans more heavily towards Xbox. You are definitely PC. Shadows just making that switch recently over the last, I want to say, year, maybe year and a half to PC. And Keisha as well, I believe. And so here is the Win GP, right? Or Win 3 GPD, handheld PC, and it's an Indiegogo thing. And we were talking, and you were telling me about Terminator, where the John Connor had a handheld PC where the screen slid up to reveal the
Yes.
right.
That,
So-
I mean, that's almost identical. I think it was a Sony Vaio or a version of the Sony Vaio that they had back in the day that had Windows XP on it. But it had like a 250 meg hard drive on it.
Right.
It was really tiny.
Right. So here we go. This is in the wild right now, right? Through Indiegogo, and you can see the price of it. So while this is a competitor for the Steam Deck, it can't compete price-wise at all. And I don't think it can do as much. Now, I got a little surprise for you guys, right? The next one is, the Aya Neo, right? And again, very powerful. They're saying, and there I've seen videos, this can play AAA games, no problem. And these are Windows machines. That's I guess the major difference with them as far as that goes. And even this, you can see over $2,000. It's not competing with the Steam Deck. Again, Windows machine, but if you choose to do so, you can put Windows on the Steam Deck. And I imagine a lot of people are going to want to be doing it. Now, my thought about these machines are that
yes, J-Law, you can play Arc on it.
yes, for sure. And let me catch up. Not there. Yes. And yes. Just yes, J-Law. Yes. So, and then here's the latest one that I found is the 1X player. So they're saying that this is the world's best performing 8.4 gaming console, right? So this is Windows based, right? And you can see what the price is going to be when it releases. Now, I backed them, right? That's how much these things were exciting me. And this came in the day after the Stream Deck was announced. So let's unbox this, right? So this just came in yesterday, or maybe the day before. I gotta drop it here.
And just
so here it is.
That know, I own a Switch, and I actually like the Switch. I play Hollow Knight. I love that game. But you know, Stream Deck, man.
So before Geek yells at me about going,
make it big, man. Make it big. Let's see it live and in color.
All right. So this is the 1X player, right?
It's huge.
This has a terabyte hard space in it. It's a Windows handheld PC. All right, let me turn it on here.
Looks about the size of my GPU.
It
It looks like the size of the video card.
So Steam actually has really great anti-cheat. I think. Now I could be wrong. And that really just doesn't show up well, does it? But for you, J-Law, let me log in here with my fingerprint.
He's about to go. Dun, 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 dun.
I went to Xbox. I forgot it automatically does that. I gotta change that.
Call out Vin Diesel for Arc 2.
So like I said, I just got this, so I haven't really had a chance to put much on it.
There's Arc in the corner.
There's Arc for you, bro. Right there. And I have played it. And okay, so let's talk about the issues for that we gamers are going to have with these handhelds, right? That I can see, that I've experienced so far. For one thing, yeah, Arc. I mean, this can play any game that you can play on a PC, right? This has a Core i7 in it, as you can see. You can see how much is going on in here. These are the intake fans. The exhaust ports are up here. You can see there's a 3.5. Is that what that is? What is that? USB 3, and then USB 2 USB-Cs. You can plug in mouse and keyboard, but we'll get to that in a second. I actually have a keyboard that snaps to it in that way. So if you want to do mouse and keyboard, but you can plug a regular mouse and keyboard into it as well. The speakers are good for what it is, of course, but look, Geek is telling me in private chat, watch. I haven't looked at it yet. He's telling me in private chat to watch the time. Early time check. He always all the time. There's a private chat, and he's always warning me about time. All right, Geek, I'm gonna try to hurry up. So there you have it. And then, like I said, if you look at the backing for it, this thing is looking like it's going to be over $2,000 when they finally finish this, right? And I backed this a while ago because I thought a while ago that this was the way that we were going as far as handheld gaming goes, right? Is it fluent? What does that mean, fluent?
I'm assuming fluid. I imagine is what he's trying to say.
Fluid? Yeah, it's smooth. It's great. It runs great. My only problem, okay, like I was saying, my issues with it is, and these are things that you're going to have to get used to. I imagine it's going to be the same thing with the Steam Deck and all those other ones that I showed you as well. The biggest issue I'm having is the distance of the controls, how far they are apart. You know, we're used to, controls being this close, right? When you're holding a controller, your hands are kind of close together, right? So that's kind of weird. And the weight of the machine. There's a lot in the machine, right? Battery, enough battery to last at least 2 hours. That's the worst that I've seen on all of these. As far as reporting goes, the worst battery life is 2 hours playing a heavy game. So, and then and then if you're playing something like Minecraft, the batteries are supposed to last for like 8 hours or something, right? So you're going to find yourself in between there. But what I'm going to do, and I imagine most people are going to do this, I'm going to get a battery bank, right? I do the same thing for my VR headset. I have a battery bank. So when I want to play and I don't know how long I'm going to be playing for, I plug in that battery bank to keep it so that it runs off of that, and then it runs off of its own internal battery. That's a little bit more weight. That might be in your pocket, it might be in your lap or whatever, just depending on what you're doing. What's going on, Callie? Welcome to the show. So the Steam Deck, right? You can see this price. This, and I don't know if anybody else got in on the order for this, but I did, and I ordered the 512 because Plank always told me if you don't have enough storage, then you're just wasting your time. But then I found out yesterday that you can actually get the $399 one here, and you can add storage. And I imagine that's what, now that that's been released, a lot of people are going to do that. So is this something? Let's start off with you PC players. Plank, Shadow, Keisha. Is this something that you're really interested in? Is this something that, first of all, would you play this sitting in your living room, right? You're home from work and you don't feel like being at your PC? Are you chilling in your living room with your wife with a pair of earbuds? I mean, these things, wireless hookup, Wi-Fi 6, right? These are up to date. These are to standard. These are tiny computers, man. And there's no denying that. Are you sitting with your loved one with some headphones on, maybe, or turned down, watching TV or what have you, gaming on this system, right? So yeah, is this something? And I know Plank, I know you. I've known you for a long time. You're not an early adopter, and I guess that's the big difference between us. Is I'm an early adopter. I see something and I think it's going to take off. I want to be in on that.
I didn't get on the Steam controller, but I did get the Steam Link back when it was released. That right there. Which is crazy because now it's on sale for. I mean, I
like $1, right?
No, you can find them on Amazon for like $179. I bought mine for $2 from Steam.
Really? So the prices went up.
Yes, because people are looking for them. So, all right.
Wow.
So I bought the Link, and I used the Link a couple of times in the living room. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it streams from your PC over versus you having the software on the device. In this situation, the software is on the device, so I imagine you're going to have a better control out of it or better response out of it. That's the only thing I have issues with, like Microsoft's was their cloud gaming. Yeah, is sometimes it lags. You know, the Xbox Cloud lags.
xCloud, they're working on that, but yeah.
No, I mean, and it's new technology. Yeah, all of this stuff is new technology, but as it goes, it seems like it's a pretty solid device. Like it would make sense if I didn't own like a Switch already or what have you. Like I would have easily have looked at this versus a Switch. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because I already own hundreds of games on Steam, you know, and now I can play them wherever the heck I want to on this device. You know what I mean? Versus sitting at my computer, which I actually enjoy sitting at my computer compared to sitting back. I'm not a controller guy, but logically, financially, it makes more sense to go this way than it would to go a dedicated device that I'm stuck on my libraries, you know, crossplay and all that craziness and blah, blah, blah. Because you really think about it, the crossplay is still there. Like there's games that crossplay with, say, Xbox and PC, and you're still getting them on this device. So,
okay. So now Keisha brings up a great point. There's a docking station that's coming for this.
Okay.
That turns this into a full-on desktop PC, mouse, keyboard, everything.
And you know that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I think they might. I think they can kind of kick Nintendo in the junk a little bit because. Nothing against Nintendo. They have solid stuff, but I mean, really, the pricing on games from Steam, everybody knows what a Steam summer sale looks like. It's way better.
Right. I'm talking AAA games for under $10, right, on a Steam summer sale, and or a Steam sale that comes somewhere between 2 and 4 times a year, right? So
I will say, like. J-Law asked a question, a good question. How does this price compare to reasonably minimum price desktop PC? This is a better deal.
This is way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Way better deal. I don't know what I'm being, but then again, I don't know all the specs on this thing. I'd have to research it. But if you're talking about a reasonable desktop PC, and if you didn't buy the monitors, you know, if you already own monitors, you'd be looking like $600. for a starter PC with maybe an okay video card. I don't know if you're getting full max frame rates on Arc with it, but you know, it
Yeah,
seems
like so. Like I was trying. We were talking earlier, and my problem with mine, right, is I have to figure out, and I'm not PC tech savvy in the way that you guys. So I have to go through and figure out how to get the resolution to match the screen, right? But I've played Arc on here. I've played Mech Warrior 5 on here. And Keisha, I have made the mistake. I made the mistake because it is a mistake of using my Xbox controller with this. And I say it's a mistake because I really do need to get used to using this as its own controller. I've hooked up mouse and keyboard to this. I wanted to see just how close to a computer, a desktop PC, or even a laptop PC it really is. And it's right there, right? If I chose to, I could hook this up to my monitors and a mouse and keyboard and go. I can hook up external drives and have way more space. And these are things that are going to be you're going to be able to do with the Steam Deck as well.
I think the Steam Deck's probably going to have a beat on that sense when you're talking about resolution and scaling. Is that the Steam Deck should be, and I'm saying in quotation, should be automatically scaled. All your games should be automatically
right, because
scaled.
it's all Steam, right? So it's all in their ecosystem. Let me catch up with some chat here. Callie says, for me, I wouldn't get this as a family man. I would own it to play on PC and Xbox, so I use my PC for gaming. Okay, so if it's not too much of an intrusion, Callie, how old are your young members of your family? Because I imagine you're talking about more than just a wife. Like, are they at the age, and are you even interested in them gaming at all? So that, I guess, I mean, $399, and the only difference, like literally the only difference in these three machines is it actually it shows you right here what you get. It has faster storage, right? This 529 version comes with a carrying case, and you get a profile for Steam. Nobody cares about that, right? Carrying case is great. Faster storage is great. And then over here for the 649, I know my wife is looking at this right now, being like, why in the bleep did you decide to go with the 649? There's reasons. It has the fastest storage and an anti-glare screen, the case, the profile, and a virtual keyboard theme. Those two things I don't even know.
That's questionable for me right there, is the profile. Like, so I just had this thought in my head for a second. So the Switch, you can have multiple accounts.
Amen, Keisha.
The Switch, you can have multiple accounts, shared library. PlayStation, same thing as that. For me, I have two different accounts, Steam accounts. Yeah, mine and my wife's account.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have different games in my library that she has. She has some games that I don't have. Will we be able to use our two accounts on this device? And if that is the case, well, now I'm thinking about it, because there's family sharing on Steam.
Yeah.
So maybe that's.
So I was gonna say, can you use each of your accounts on your PC that you have now?
But there are certain games. There are certain games that they don't like on family sharing.
Right.
Most of your AAA games that first come out, they don't like on family sharing. But again, we're looking at this device. Are you able to have those profiles use those games if they're already installed on the device? You see what I'm saying?
No. I'm thinking it's no different than a PC. So you you're playing, you put it down, your wife comes in, she signs you out, she signs herself in, and her library shows up. I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. Now, again,
but say if I buy a AAA title on my account, she wants to play it on her account. Does it carry over?
I think that's
where
where
have to play on my account.
I think that's where the family share thing comes over.
But again, like we just said, the family share doesn't work on certain titles.
On certain titles, and then I think I think on Steam, on your PC, it's the same issue, right?
Yeah.
So I think any issue or any advantage that you have on your PC is going to just carry over to this machine.
Right.
$15 and $11, and his daughter's 8 with disabilities. So, okay, are your kids playing? Are they gamers? I know you got at least a console in your house, right? I know because we played together. Are your kids gaming? Like, I don't, because again, that $3.99. Everybody loves the Nintendo Switch, and I agree with Shadow that this is not competing directly with the Nintendo, right? This is not. If you love Nintendo, you're not leaving Nintendo for the Steam Deck. But if you have a Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo Switch Lite, you might not get the OLED and get this instead, because the Nintendo and then the Switch and Switch Lite can still do what it needs to do. Nothing new is coming out that they're not going to be able to do. But for $50 more, you can play your whole Steam library. And let's forget about the whole expandable storage, even though you can expand the storage, and it does have that SD card slot that you can use. Let's forget about that, because I'm thinking about my PS5 right now, right? And I know this is going to change soon, but right now it has as usable storage about as much, a little bit more, a tiny bit more, like 100 and or so, a little over 100 gigs more than the 649 version of the Steam Deck. So something that I'm finding I'm getting used to, as much as I don't like it, is, okay, I'm not playing this game now, so take it off of the machine and put something else on in its place. So even if at the worst case scenario, this $3.99 version, and honestly this $2.29 version, isn't going to be able to play the latest Call of Duties because the storage is too small, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing. So you're going to have to go to some other, like at least that SD card, right? Man, this thing is incredible, and Geek's going to be yelling at me because
he is,
because Geek's like, man, if you don't, Geek's swearing. That's why. What's going on, Lady A? Welcome to the show. That's why he's disconnected. He's like, you don't let me get on here and talk about what I was supposed to talk about last week, and now I can't talk about this week. Geek, let's go long. Let's go. We're doing this. I'm telling you, like, exactly when I mentioned this to Geek, he thought I was talking about something else. And so, Geek, have you been in on this week? Like, Geek, did you I don't even want to ask that question, because he didn't pre-order it. I'm starting to feel for Geek, people. I'm starting to feel for him as a gamer.
They're already scalping him on eBay. Just the
$5,000 is what I saw one going for. But I don't know if that matters, because the ways Valve is handling this is good. These are reservations, right? These aren't pre-orders in the traditional sense. And if you wanted to get one for the first couple of days, you could only get one, right? And you had to have a Steam account for an amount of time. It's a good amount of time, right? So scalpers couldn't just make a Steam account and get one. So I think they did really good with that.
That's good. That's better than the other competitors that are out. I mean, the other companies out there that create this false frenzy, you know, and it really just screws the consumer in the long run. You know, the frenzy. I get it. You build your hype. You know, you want people excited and things like that. But you look at, Microsoft. You haven't gotten any money out of me. Period. You know, and I wanted to give you money. Like I still wanted to give you money, and you can't get money out of me because guess what? I can't get your consoles. I can't buy your games.
And so Valve announced this, right? And then put up the reservations the next day, said that you had to have your Steam account. I want to say it's for something like 6 months or something, or you couldn't pre-order it in the beginning until today. Today it opened up to everybody, right? Everybody can get it today. And then you can see here, like, expected Q2 2022, right? So mine is this one, and you see this one is expected if you pre-order now Q3 of 2022. Now, mind you, this is coming out in like December, I believe they said, right? So wow, a year from now is when you're expecting this. I got lucky with my early jump that mine is expected Q1 of 2022. So, and then so Keisha here makes a really good point too. Like this doesn't have, it can't connect to cellular like 5G or whatever, but you can use your phone's hotspot to power this. So on the go gaming right here. I mean, I have a lot of doctor's appointments. I'm sitting in the doctor's office waiting for hours sometimes. You know, depending on how backed up they are. I'm entertaining myself with this or this or what I have. I mean, I think this is the way things are going. They have gaming laptops and a Switch. See that Switch, man? Like, are your sons in the news? Like, are they in the know? Do they know that this is coming out? See, Callie.
I actually think my wife would like this because she can never get on the PC because my son is always on it, or he's always on the TV. Lois.
Nope, your son's grabbing this. Your son's grabbing this. Your son's grabbing this. She'll be able to get on her PC.
Lois fights for it, you know, so I think she'd be pretty thrilled about it.
See, my wife knows what to expect, she says.
Well, I have to say, Andrea, I have to apologize to you now because, you know, I was actually talking about another device, way cheaper, but another device with him earlier.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Yeah. See.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
I had to have all the gaming stuff. I'm telling you. Keisha got hers in. Anybody else get theirs in? I know you didn't, Plink, because you're gonna wait for me to just be gushing to you about it and try to talk you into it. Lady A, I think we're pretty much caught up.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Geek man,
Geek, are you there? Hello,
Geek. I don't think. I think Geek has decided. Tell me if I'm wrong. Oh, so wait. Nope, that's the wrong one. Where is it?
Oh, you're leaving him in?
He absolutely got one for $5. Okay, I was worried, Geek, because I'm feeling like Geek used to be an early adopter, but I don't know anymore. Like, he's not doing so much early adopting lately. So that's kind of crazy to me. Yeah, I'm Geek, where are you, man? Like, talk to the people. Like, we want to hear your thoughts on this too. What it is, Callie, is Geek got Windows 11 and he's F-bombing around with it right now. He couldn't take an hour plus all the run over that we do to talk to us about this. But no, Geek, seriously, I mean, where are you on this? Like, I know Geek has a Nintendo Switch in his family, but I know he doesn't like the Nintendo Switch for some reason. I don't know exactly what the reason is. Is it because it's a handheld? Like, so I mean, obviously you're jumping in on it. You're if you paid the $5, I imagine that you're getting in. But like, what are your thoughts on it? Even if for some reason you got to put it in the text. Can you hear us, Geek? Are you with us right now?
I see him chatting on the screen every now and again, but I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
You there, Geek?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't like the Switch. It's that there's not enough games to compel me to get another system.
It's fair. It's fair.
I mean, not games that I like. And now Evan, because as Faustin said, I do have one. So Evan has one and TJ have one. And even them, I asked them, what do they think about the new one? This was yesterday's conversation with Evan. What do you think about the new one? He says, I don't see a reason to get it. He says it's the same hardware.
Yeah.
He said they just put a new screen on it.
Right.
He was like, and then he said, and I would ask you to get it for me for Christmas, and then they're going to come out with a new one 2 weeks later. And he said, I'm going to be pissed. He said, so for the money for that, he would rather get a PS5 or an Xbox.
I mean, I agree with Evan. Yeah, the games on the Switch there's some decent games out there, but for most of there's a lot of like mobile games that are in there that I can just get on my phone. Or, right. There's nothing on there there's nothing about the Switch that I was like, I gotta get this Switch. Like, this is it. The only reason why I got one is because my son wanted a Switch, But I do enjoy a couple of games on it. Not a whole lot, but I do have a couple. It's just, meh.
So my big hope for the Switch was that they were going to team up with Microsoft and the Switch would become sort of a Game Pass machine, right? Just a way to bring in Game Pass games and play them mobilely. I found that I don't want to do it on my phone. I just want my phone to be my phone, right? As far as that goes. And I mean, it's nice that I can, if I forget to bring a device or something, my phone can act as a device, and I would never want to remove that as one of its dominating features now. But I'm finding that I wanted a device to be for Game Pass, and that's why I backed this the X1 player and the Indiegogo so long ago, because man, I was thinking about it and I really wanted a Game Pass machine, and then for it to also be a full-on computer was really enticing to me. Like, that's huge, right? And then so I don't know about you guys, but I was not expecting Valve to come out with anything at all, let alone this, right? And so I think that this will be a great Game Pass machine as well. But I'm finding, going over it in my head, this is gonna be my Steam machine, right? This is gonna be. Remember those Steam machines that how badly they bombed?
Oh yeah,
This
but
is
those
gonna
things make
be
sense.
yeah. This is
Doesn't
gonna
make
be
sense.
that thing that I carry with me. I mean, it's all going with me, right? It's gonna go in a backpack and go with me wherever I go. So, but this is my Steam library, right? This is when I'm out and I want to play art with you guys on the cluster plank. This is and I'm out. This is what I'm playing, right? This is where I am, and then this will be my Game Pass machine and other things that like as far as the other things, what the other companies.
Like
I always forget.
Sony's version.
No, on the PC, the other game.
Like Epic
Yes, thank you.
and Origin and
Right,
all them.
those things are going to go on this machine. This is going to be straight up valid. Like,
Freaking
I'm
Origin
old.
and Epic.
And to ADA,
And which
this
one?
is the solution to your dilemma. Your PC can't play a game and stream at the same time. So now if you're playing the game on this and you put it into your capture card, you can now capture your gameplay. And now you're not taxing the resources of your laptop.
He has got a great point there.
Look, this is a full-on PC, only in a handheld form factor. So yeah, he's right. And see, Shadow said he didn't see this coming either. I don't know anybody that was expecting this, right? It was a total shock out of the blue and an exciting one, right? Because what was it last week, Geek? We were saying that I was saying that I felt like there was a gaming drought. We're not getting any news, and when I'm looking through things, all I'm seeing are arguments between Sony and Microsoft fans, and I'm kind of tired of that. Even though Geek tried to start something last, but we won't even get into that because
Geek had war going last week.
Yeah, so
y'all look back at last week's episode.
Plank, I did not know it was gonna trigger him in that way.
I was watching on my TV. My wife was like, I don't think I've ever seen Ray that upset about anything.
right. So, but so yeah, Lady A, this might be the thing for you as far as PC gaming goes, because again, it is a full-fledged computer. It's a full-fledged handheld PC. I don't know if you were here when I showed the version that I just got, but I have one here. It's a full-on computer, full-on PC, plays all the PC games great and everything. And so if you find that your system is lacking, then this is a great way to do that, because I know how big you are into streaming. And Keisha asked earlier, is this Steam Deck gonna run Destiny? Yes, it's gonna run Destiny. I think it's gonna run Destiny beautifully, as well as everything else. The only thing that I think this machine is maybe going to struggle with is if you use a PC VR with it. I think that's going to be asking a little much of it.
No, that's a lot much.
So I think that's the only thing that anybody would really need to worry about. And it's everybody that I know, including you guys, because I haven't heard any of you all talk about it. If you guys are gaming in VR, nobody's mentioned it. So that's only a concern for me. Like,
and again, another. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that as we see the VR pick up more, maybe VR devices will handle more of the workload eventually, and maybe something like this, because this kind of makes sense if you're talking about in a portable world. if you look at the Oculus Quest, it's a portable device. If you're talking about the portable world, it only makes sense to connect something like this together. Yeah.
Right.
But that's only my thought, future wise and things like that. But technology will get there. Geek, do your thing, bro.
Yeah, it's Geek. Rest of the show is yours, bro. I'm sorry. I know. I'm excited by this, but look, I'm gonna kill it right now. Boom, gone, Geek. It's all you, dude.
I'm actually interested in seeing this myself because, I wanted to see how this played out because I'm curious in terms of early adoption.
Is he gone again?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
I was like, dang, this dude dipped again. So what's up? What's up? What do you got for us, Geek? All right, Shadow.
Look at the private chat, Falchion.
I see what you got.
No, I know you saw it.
Nope, no time. It's time.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, buddy.
Jump on it. It's your show now.
This is your way of getting me back for the whole.
I'm not even
going to say the name.
Pretty much. So
let's see it. Big screen. Let's see what we got.
Now I got to figure out which screen I'm throwing this to.
Like what? So this is Windows 11 that you're showing us, Geek?
No, that's my Xbox.
Oh, okay.
That's Windows 11.
Okay. So they're still pushing Edge, right, as a browser?
Yes.
Okay.
So as you see on the bottom,
right,
Edge is still there. It has well, I was gonna say it's a little faster graphically.
Okay.
When it doesn't crash, because that's what happened a few minutes ago.
Okay.
I had to switch the ATEM back to my main PC.
Okay.
So I'm jumping like this is the laptop screen that you're seeing here.
Okay.
And then 3, that's my main PC screen.
Okay.
So I just enjoy the fact that now I'm able to switch between all of them.
Okay, so
yeah, what are you explaining there? So you're talking about? Are we talking about just StreamYard, or are we talking about devices swapping between the devices?
Okay, so this is a device that I have that allows me to switch between them.
Okay.
Is it working better with Windows 11?
I thought it was until it crashed.
I mean, early adopter issues. I get that, but in the overall, how okay, let's start here. How long have you had Windows 11?
For the better part of this week.
Okay. Lady A with no time to play. What's going on with you, Lady A? What are you doing right now?
Did Lady A say she had no time to play?
She said she had to make time to play.
Talking about D&D Dark Alliance. I saw her running.
Because she was too busy running through her nightfalls. I caught her playing all night. She played all night, and then at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm at work and she was still playing. I'm telling Lady A, I'm telling everything.
Yeah, actually, Lady A, can you post the link to your streams if you guys want to watch some long streams? Lady A gets into streaming and she just forgets about that there's a whole IRL. Right? Right? Lady A will stream for days if somebody doesn't stop, if people literally have to tell her to stop streaming, right? Lady A puts in work out there as far as streaming goes. So make sure
Not even waiting for Lady A to do it.
Good. Make sure you guys go check her out if you haven't. Amazing streamer, all about the Destiny.
So
but
with the Windows 11, so with Windows 10, they kind of packed in the Microsoft Store and things like that. Is that still a thing with Windows 11? Are they still
absolutely
okay? And then if you're on multiple devices,
no problem with ADA.
Same thing. Are you doing using your Microsoft account to log into the PC still? So they're sharing the account still. It's interesting to see how that went.
It's not you're not sharing the account. You're logging into your Microsoft account.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like on multiple devices. Yeah.
Yes.
So like,
and then I don't know if you heard about, now they have Windows 365.
Right. Their Office suite.
No. Listen to me. Windows 365, not Office. So now what they're doing is, remember everybody was complaining about their, the system requirements for Windows 11.
Okay.
The way to get around that now is that there's Windows 365. So now you can log in to a lesser machine and use Windows in the cloud.
Oh.
So now from an IT standpoint, that's to my benefit, because now I don't have to worry about if a user left their machine on to get those system updates off hours, because I control that.
So they, my guess then, what you're saying is there is a subscription model operating system.
Correct.
And that doesn't make me happy personally.
Is that good?
In my opinion,
that's a great thing
in the corporate world.
In the corporate world, because of the bottom line, because now the company doesn't have to spend the money buying new equipment. It's only those per seat licenses.
So what companies do is very common. What they buy is thin clients, is what they call them, and they're very bare bones desktop devices, and there's really no hard drive space to speak of on these things, and the operating system is cloud based from a centralized server. So any workload that you're doing is being done from a remote location. This thin client is just, like I said, bare minimum. You're not even saving anything locally. You're saving it to the cloud. And now, in theory, for corporate world, this does make sense. Just like he said, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because like if you look, when I was working in offices, we had different printers. Yeah, but in order to install a printer on one computer, you had to install it on every computer. And unless you had a print server that handled that load, then it becomes this thing where you have to go up to each and every individual device and install this printer. Well, in this situation, you can just upload it, install it on this cloud server, and now everybody has access to it. You don't have to worry about
Plank.
You don't have to worry about malware anymore, because that cloud operating system, you can set limitations on it and things like that, so that people can't do certain things. It's a very controlled environment for that desktop, which is good for a corporate world.
Plank,
it's great.
Let me know. I wrote scripts that add the print server to the print queue to everyone's machine.
This was back when I was in corporate world. So
okay, no, but now we script that out so that when the client logs in, I throw whatever printers I want on whatever machine.
Right. So like, you know, and he's right. In corporate world, that's a great idea because they have to pay. They don't have to pay for expensive devices. All they're paying for is licensed users, you know, and they can shut down that stuff like it's like they're late on the cable bill if somebody quits. You know what I mean? So,
But
you know,
also when you're talking about that model, Plank, is that corporately, instead of having to buy a license for every
computer,
user, I only have to buy the number of concurrent people I expect to log in
right.
on any given day. So when I have shift workers that rotate, I don't have to buy John and Joe a license. I got 2 licenses
Right.
that John goes home at 4 and Joe starts at 4. So that's 1 license. When he logs out, then he can log in.
Now, for the home user, I guess for the home user in a cloud operating system environment, I personally don't like it, only because you don't own it. Yeah. So you can't go messing with it the same way you do if you own it. Yeah.
And they're gonna shove Edge down your throat, whether you
Yes,
wanted to install it or not.
Yeah.
And you know how Microsoft does. They're going to, whenever they do an update, they're gonna make Edge your default browser again.
They're gonna do a lot of stuff like that, like you know, your Microsoft Store and things like that. Obviously, they want to gear you towards their business. You know, a subscription model for the home user, in my opinion, doesn't make sense. Especially you're talking about for the gamer, it doesn't make sense.
You say that until you realize that most consumers vote with their pocketbook. So now, when I tell you, you can either buy a new $800 laptop or you can spend $15.99 a month. They saw the success of Game Pass. So what do you think they're going to do with the Windows 365 subscription?
I'm going to call it right now, okay? I'm going to call it right now. What's going to happen is Bitcoin miners are going to take this over because they don't need the hardware anymore. They're using Microsoft's
VMs.
cloud. Yeah, they're using Microsoft's cloud to handle the load. And
this is leveraging Azure servers.
Yeah.
So if I can use the Azure resources to Bitcoin mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So does that mean, if it goes the way you're expecting, Plank, does that mean that we're going to start being able to get graphics cards again at reasonable prices?
Well, technically the graphics cards are out there because China shut down.
No, but Faustin, sorry, Plank. NVIDIA already shut down bit mining on new GPUs.
Yeah,
for that reason.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a Bitcoin mine, you got to get a Quattro or something more expensive. That's a different line of cards, just so that they can free up those resources.
Just like he said, NVIDIA's new device drivers prevent you from using the GPU as a mining device. So, and on top of that, China has outlawed Bitcoin mining. So now there's all these freaking cards on the market because they don't need them anymore. Yeah.
Right.
But it's almost like buying a used Mustang. Who wants to buy a used Mustang when you know the person that had it before you has been flooring it from everywhere, you know, has been running it into the ground and destroying it with the entire time they had it? Now, will we see more of these cards come out in the market? In my opinion, no. Same reason with these freaking Xboxes and PlayStations. You're not going to see them. Scalpers are going to do what they do. They're going to buy them. They're going to hold on to them. Because you know what I mean.
But I'm hoping one of the things that Micro Center did, which I don't understand why everybody's not doing this, is that in order to go get a GPU now from Micro Center, you have to go in and they scan your driver's license.
Yeah.
So you can only
understand.
get so many per person.
Right.
But
So
Micro Center's not here though, so
yeah, well,
that does nothing
there
for me.
is one there, but it's way out there. I
Apparently,
was
we
gonna
need to talk.
I was gonna say, or there was one. There was one that was like Blacksburg or something like that. But
Yeah. So again, there's no Micro Center here, Blacksburg.
I was gonna say Nvidia could do just like what Steam just did.
Exactly.
Everybody that owns an Nvidia card has an Nvidia account because that damn GeForce. I'm sorry to curse on your stream, but that GeForce experience forces you to sign in order to
get
put in
updates.
A device driver, which makes no effing sense to me. But they could track it the same way. If you want to order an NVIDIA card from NVIDIA, just use your NVIDIA sign-in, and you can get a hold of one. You have to have been an account owner for so long, and you can get one. But I mean,
yeah, but see that I don't like that particularly because that sucks. Because me, right? Remember, I was an AMD guy, and then finally I decided let me give Nvidia another try.
And you saw the light.
You should be punished for being an AMD guy all this time. And that's your punishment.
Actually,
no,
AMD,
whoa, easy,
good.
because I'm looking at those new 6800 XTs. Yeah. I'm about to go back.
NVIDIA is solid. I mean not NVIDIA. AMD is solid. I'm not just like you guys talk about. Yeah, you like your PS4. I mean Sony guys versus Xbox guys. Like AMD versus NVIDIA. Each of them have their really good flavors between the two of them. AMD makes solid CPUs, and really can compete with Intel on some of these CPUs, and their graphics cards aren't bad by any means. In fact, the budget conscious should aim that direction. But
no, it's not the budget conscious cards. There's a reason that Microsoft and Sony and now the Steam deck uses AMD cards because for audio in the gaming space, they have better directional audio.
I don't know, but back in the day, I don't know if this is still the same thing with the Threadrippers running around or whatnot, but back in the day, the Intel chips handled the GPU load a little bit better than AMD's did. But or in terms of the CPUs, it handled a little bit of GPU as load as well.
Intel only has a hair advantage on single core processing.
Dang, Shadow, you went AMD too, bro.
AMD
are good.
AMD is ripping Intel with the multi-thread processing.
I was AMD for years. I only recently updated to the Intel chip, and that's because of you, Fauci. Like, I ran an AMD for years. In fact, I'll tell you guys all right now, my outdated AMD 8350 FX chip, that thing blew the doors off of a lot of Intel chips for years. And it was cheap. I think I bought that thing for $100.
Wow.
And the only reason why I upgraded was because it was that time. Like I'd been holding on to it for so long, and when I finally took it out, it was when I finally took it out, the heat sink and the CPU were fused together. I actually had to use a hammer and screwdriver to separate
oh my goodness!
Like that's how hard I worked the hell out of that processor. But
that's crazy.
And it's nuts. Like I had a hammer and a screwdriver and trying to break them apart. It was nuts.
Dude, that's
as far as budget CPUs go, AMD CPU, you can get away with a air-cooled AMD much better than you can with Intel.
Yeah.
Whenever I spec out a system and it's an Intel system, I automatically add a water cooler to it, even if it's closed loop.
I have a closed loop water cooler on my Intel, and I like it a lot. But again, AMD, like I said, I have no qualms with AMD. I'm not gonna sit here and say AMD, Intel, blah 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 blah. Like they're both solid companies. They both make solid gear. AMD is not one to shy away from. It's not like you're looking at a Pinto and a Mustang. You know what I mean? They're right on top of each other. It's more like looking at like a Mercedes and a BMW. They're pretty much the same damn car. You know?
And Shadow went over to the other side.
No,
all alone.
He started out there.
That's what I'm saying. He started out as
I will,
and now he's all AMD. I'm feeling
I will
really
say
alone
for
right
my
now.
GPUs, for my GPUs, I've always ran NVIDIA. I only have one AMD card, and that's on my wife's computer, and I inherited that card. So, you know, but most of the time it's NVIDIA cards. I like their as much as I hate GeForce Experience, I like it better than I like AMD's weird, screwy software dealy. Plus, I was trying to do the SLI for a while, but you can't even do SLI anymore. All right, do the 3000? Those new cars don't SLI, right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think they did.
No.
So,
but
they even need to.
It's negligible.
I mean,
the performance benefit.
Greg, I mean, come on, if you could,
okay. That was
would
stupid.
you?
Yeah, that was stupid. My bad. Stupid question.
To get what? 7 frames additional?
Hey, 7 frames is 7
This
frames.
is the guy that just bought this daggone handheld.
Yes. I stand corrected.
I mean,
I forgot he's got those 1% problems.
But yeah, I mean, like it's cool. They're cool. Like I said, I'm not gonna make that argument. But in terms of back to the operating system, I personally wouldn't deal with the Windows 365. And I think, in my opinion, it's kind of a dark path to walk down. Because what's to say for them to finally say enough with us selling individual licenses for operating systems, everybody go to a subscription model.
That sounds like
that's
something, but then when you look at that Navy issue, you know, that's not going to change anytime soon.
What's going to end up happening if that is the case is that Linux will start looking a lot better. As if it doesn't already look great.
No.
You know, because I mean, well, and I hate to say this as well, Max OS, whatever number they're at right now. I mean, because it's a slippery slope, man. People are already freaking out over COVID tracking. Now you want to tell me I don't own my operating system and I got to run it from someplace else? That means I have to have Wi-Fi. I mean, that means I have to have
Microsoft is hurting right now because they just lost $10 billion on that Azure. They lost those Azure services to AWS with the military contract.
We'll see. I'm logging into Robinhood right now.
Well,
see what
I mean, taking 10 billion from 100 trillion is not going to be anything.
Over the week, they lost $3 a share. Over the month, they gained $10 a share. So
Game Pass is, but this is recent. So look at those losses. To matter of fact, while I'm talking to you, what was it? It was I'm on the wrong keyboard. I got too many systems here.
You got a KVM switch.
You're talking about my 1% problem.
I know. He's over there with every computer known to man over the matrix now. Do you even see the code anymore? You know? No, I in my opinion, it's a slippery slope, and I don't want to be. I mean, we're subscription modeled everywhere. Everybody's nickel and diming the hell out of you. You know, I'm in subscription model fatigue. So, you know, if they decide that Windows is worth subscription model to the average home user, I think that not only it stifles growth and it stifles creativity, because people didn't rise through Microsoft by just being handheld and spoon fed the technology. People learned on their own machines, on their own software. Yeah. And that's how they made these things better. If you're spoon feeding me and you're not going to let me have full access to everything, then you're stifling creativity for your bottom line, which is, you know, it's their bottom line. They're going to do, shareholders are going to do what they want to do.
So, not to sound selfish or what have you, but what is Windows 11 doing for us as gamers?
It's supposed to have an improved graphics subsystem.
So a lighter load on the graphics end.
Right.
But that's interesting that you say that, but like every user right now on Windows 10 can lighten the graphics load on their devices by right-clicking on the screen, going to graphics options, and telling it to turn down the desktop graphics.
No, but what we're talking about, apples to apples, under the same load, the Windows 11 subsystem is optimized in how it communicates to your GPU of choice. It doesn't have to be NVIDIA or AMD. Even with that Intel Iris, all of them are performing better in Windows 11. So what it passes is better optimized in the feed, which is why they're trying to get you to use these newer chipsets and these newer boards, because unbeknownst to you, you're taking advantage of the newer architecture.
Right. I mean,
and hopefully
they want you to beta test it. Yeah.
They want to get rid of all of those people still holding on to North and South Bridge. Right. And without saying that, they're forcing you to the newer style chipsets.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for everybody watching that I'm geeking out. Yeah, but I finally have somebody to talk to that understands.
No, I get it. They want to get rid of, for anybody that's listening that doesn't know what we're talking about. Yeah. It's literally like the cash for clunkers. Yeah. So we took all those old cars off the road, and now we have all these brand new cars, but all these brand new cars have a lot of technology under the hood. And with that technology under the hood, you have to have a new group of people that also learn that new technology under the hood. And unfortunately, for some people, like the old school guys get left in the dust because they didn't learn the new stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, it's great. Change has to happen. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Corporate world hates changing on their software, but change has to happen. This seems like,
thank you, Shadowfire.
It seems like a big jump. I don't know why they didn't just issue this as a patch for Windows 10 or an add-on for Windows 10 versus it being a whole new operating system.
Again, how do we delineate the separation between
the hardware
10 and that would be confusing if 20H3 had this new chip requirement,
right?
That Shadowfire, do you even know that you're on 20H2 right now? And see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's easy for me to say, Shadowfire, are you running Windows 10 or Windows 11?
Right.
Okay,
right.
You can't do this. But those internal incremental updates, the average user wouldn't know. So he wouldn't know how to convey, oh, I can't do that because I'm still on 20H1.
Do we know what's the lifespan of Win 10? Are they going to continue carrying
2025?
2025. So everybody's still got a while before hardware really jumps up and things like that ramps up for your old users.
Okay, so
but like for you, Falchion, I think you're good. You know, in terms of your hardware, I think you're good. Most people who have more recent hardware are doing pretty good. If you're still sitting on Windows XP right now, or God forbid Vista or some silly shit, those days are done.
No, not even 8.1, 8.0.
Yes, I'm telling you, because there's still we're laughing about it or joking about it, but there's a lot of people in the business world that are still running this old hardware because they don't want to upgrade to the new software. Because one, they're comfortable with the new software. Two, they don't want to learn the new software. Or three, they just don't have the money to upgrade to the newer software. I helped out an accounting firm for the longest, and they did not want to let go of XP, and we were way beyond XP by then. You know, and their software, the accounting firm, the software they finally ran through, they were like, we don't support your stuff anymore. You got to let it go. You know, so, but at the same conversation that we're having, the new software was a subscription model. So now they have to subscribe to software versus buying a one-time license. So that's where things start getting shaky for me. Do I buy a one-time license, or am I going to be nickel and dime for the rest of my life because I wish to play on?
Falchion, could you expand that?
Yeah.
Because I want Plank to read that first line.
So my question was, and I think I asked you, Plank.
He can't really see it.
Can't see it. Yeah.
It's really pixelated. Was because a lot of people were asking when I saw it, when it was first announced or what have you, am I going to be able to run Windows 11? There's a lot of confusion about that right now. So
again, your more recent computers, your more recent motherboards, I think you'll be doing fine, unless you're sitting back on a early 2000s hardware. Then that's a problem. You know. I don't know what the actual cutoff is for it. I mean, Geek knows more about it than me, but I think for our current needs, we're fine.
Okay.
The U.S. Navy, the article that I have up, the U.S. Navy is paying Microsoft $9 million to support Windows XP.
How old is Windows XP?
14 years old.
Yeah.
Because the cost for them to upgrade every seat would be astronomical.
Yeah. So then they take a Windows XP device that has minimal hardware on it, and they go with a subscription model of cloud operating system, and now they don't have to update the hardware to maintain the newer software.
There you go. And you're guaranteed all of the latest security updates.
Until some kid from Russia figures out how to access Azure's servers and
China
holds an aircraft carrier hostage.
Want to play a game?
Just like they did to the water, right?
The
gas.
Like they did with the oil, the oil and gas, yeah.
They had that pipeline stopped.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a tricky situation. It's a very, because you are now reliant on a centralized server. Yeah. If something happens, obviously there's backups, obviously there's redundancies, but there's always somebody out there that's smarter than you that builds a better mousetrap. Most hacking, actually 99% of hacking, is somebody picking up a phone and cold calling somebody and asking them for their password.
Right. I can't get in. It's that phishing scandal.
Yes.
I can't get in. Can I just log in on your system and just do this? Or they'll call and me and you are friendly, and they'll say, here, just log me into this.
Yeah.
And then I can put a backdoor in code and you won't even know.
Yeah, it's a I mean that's the gamble that you play with. And that's for the Navy and them to decide. I don't know if they even, I mean, I'm sure they get clearance, but that's a big amount of clearance. You know, for anybody that deals with the military out there, and most of these guys, I mean, Ray knows you got to get clearance before you can work on military bases. I'm sure Faustian knows you have to get clearance before you can work with any government jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got my clearance because I do a lot of the federal buildings, and we had to get that clearance.
Yeah,
there's a room that I've been in that six racks to my right. If I hook onto that, I can see everything that goes across the president's desk.
Yeah, nobody should probably know that, Geek. That might have been something you didn't want to say on the
Yeah,
stream.
you might not want to say that.
No.
I mean, it's a nice flex, but that might not be a flex that you.
What does Geek look like? Where is he from?
Right? oh, that's why Geek's not showing his face now. Got you.
Let me cold call him. Hey, I'm the Lovelock Spencer. What's your username and password?
Yeah, about that. No. You know, so it's one of those things. The way that you're still listening with your eyes closed.
Sorry.
You okay, Keisha?
Sorry, it's not a sexy conversation, but it is interesting. And in terms of gaming, in terms of gaming, the subscription model is very interesting in the sense that if they could subscription model you, Steam could subscription model you, and that would be catastrophic in my world. You know, we already we're already subscription modeled with Nintendo, PlayStation,
Game
Xbox,
Pass,
Epic. When does it stop? When does anything that you buy become yours? You're literally just leasing your property, you know, and and then you go into right to repair and that argument. You know, what's the cutoff? When do you own the stuff that you purchase?
Of everyone listening, including you guys, who owns, because we're all on the internet right now, who owns their router?
I do. I own my router and my modem. Now, if you don't own your router and modem, people, right now, go to Target, Best Buy, whoever, and buy it and save yourself some money, because it's cheaper to buy it that way than you to pay $20 a month to your cable company for a router.
For 3 years, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, Keisha.
Wow. Keisha up.
And I am late for my meeting. So, guys, I've got to run as much as I love the discussion.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
All right, what do we miss tonight, Geek? Because I know we missed. I'm not. See, this is and you guys are my witness. When we started, I offered Geek to do everything, and he said, "No, that comes at the end of the show." Not really my fault.
Well, no. You get no pass, sir.
I apologize.
I gave you an early time check.
I apologize for my part, but I did enjoy my conversation with you, Geek, on this whole thing, because there's a lot. I could go on and on and on about this.
Lady A said I need to own mine. She's catching on.
Right, exactly.
Apparently, I need to own mine as well. I didn't.
It's
wow.
To own your modem is $200 to buy your modem. $10, even at $10 a month for 24 months, which is the normal term of a subscription of a contract with your cable company, it's $240. So right there, if it's only $10, you've already beat that. How long have you had cable? How long have you been paying $10 a month for your modem? Okay, there you go.
I can't even. Wow.
Yeah,
I had no idea, to be honest with you.
that's how they get you.
It's called DOCSIS.
Keisha wants to know what the best router to buy is. I kind of want to know that myself.
I mean, it
dang.
all you're gonna have to research it all. I'm answering her right now. It depends on your bandwidth workload. You know,
Right.
how many devices you got connected to it. For my needs, I usually aim for a mid-tier model. I don't aim for the most expensive thing, but I also don't aim for the cheapest thing either. But these days, routers and modems are connected into one device. So for you, obviously, you're going to need a higher.
Well, if I'm telling you, there are multiple options,
Yeah.
and I will gladly take up this conversation on another week, because there are the MIMO standards, which is multi-in, multi-outs.
Mm-hmm.
There's all of the
Now
not
Geek's just making up
IPv6.
words.
He's throwing out some alphabet soup to make himself sound fancy. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
There's all of the version 6 that gives you much better coverage.
I forget what mine is.
So there's a number of things, and on a case-by-case basis, we can lay that out, because it's pretty clear and not that convoluted.
I guess I'm good.
Yeah, so she's good. I personally have a TP link. If anybody wanted to know about mine, but you know.
Cool.
Yeah, and not just that, but if you also don't own it and you're renting it, call your cable provider and make sure that you have the most updated firmware for your model.
Yeah.
Because you're selling yourself short if you don't. You're not getting enough bandwidth.
Yeah.
Dang, so why is that coming in like that, Geek?
I do not have any clue.
That's weird. It's Windows 11 trying to get over on you.
For real.
It's not just Windows 11, because I can go to
I'm just messing, dude.
What is it, 3? And if I pull this in, oh, wrong mouse. Jesus Christ.
Are you using a KVM switch?
Yeah. And a headless one at that.
See?
So I'm doing it over Ethernet.
I geek a little bit too. But yeah,
So,
yeah, it's still not clear either. That's weird.
Raise that one, Falchion. Let me see if that gets better. No, why? And that's a 1080p direct.
I mean,
so
I'm not gonna lie. I was just at the eye doctor the other day, and that kind of looked like, yeah, I can't see it, doc.
But yeah, do the work, do your homework, peeps. Go check it out. Don't let
this one is $149.
Those surfboards are usually standard. Okay.
Yeah, this Aris.
Yeah.
These are the ones that we put in like small businesses.
Yeah.
So I usually connect on commercial grade routers to this.
And if you're talking about wireless through the house versus wired and things like that, obviously you're going to have to take those things into consideration. Get yourself a scanner app on your phone and scan how far your range is. I personally have
power. You can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I go to Starbucks, that's how I do the surveys in every Starbucks.
You know,
I mean,
if
you guys are on the payroll. Why don't I know this stuff?
You didn't ask the question.
And if you really want to be tricky,
Dang.
you can download an app called Fing, and it'll scan the network that you're currently on, see how many devices are on it, what devices are on it, if they're open or not, all kinds of stuff. But yeah,
you can see
right, Shadow, right? Like, I mean, you may have just met Plank, but how long have you known Geek? He should have been telling you this stuff. I feel like these are conversations that should just be automatic. Like,
I use
are you doing this?
Ethernet over power line, just because of the design of my apartment, which kind of works out for me. But that may not be a solution for everybody. But for people with big houses, it can be a really good solution. Maybe if you want to go to Wi-Fi extenders, stuff like that, or if you want to rewire your whole damn house, talk to Geek. He could probably set you up with a nice contract.
Yes, Shadow.
There you go.
Next week's episode.
There you go. Next week, I'm opening the show and kicking it to Geek. And if he tries to kick it back to me, y'all don't let that happen.
Talking technicalities. How do you increase your bandwidth?
So, what's up, Plank? You coming back next week?
Yeah, man, I could be here if you need me to be.
I think we need you. I think you and Geek need to have a conversation with the rest of us so that we can at least be only a step or two behind, because like I'm feeling like we're like 2 generations behind you guys right now, and it's feeling a little unfair.
Yeah, man.
This coming from the guy who just unboxed his.
That's right. So there is more that I need to know to make what I just unboxed work better, and that's what I need. I need it to work better. I need it to be like, woo, So yes, that coming from this coming from that guy. You're right. You're right. I need it. But yeah, this is good.
Doing this.
I'm always around. Whenever y'all need me, you just put the signal up in the sky, and I will show up. I'll swing down from the rooftops.
All right, I got it. It's big P in the sky.
Okay, does that look better? Try that one, Falchion.
That's something I'm adding to the stream? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks a
lot better.
Okay. So that you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, get this out of here.
So it's for whatever reason, like the thing that's under the one that's under your name is not coming in clearly for whatever reason.
Right.
Don't ask for professional services to come to your house to install a modem or a router, man. I mean, for the love of Christ, call Geek.
Yeah, it's just a cable connection. You take the cable wire and you connect it to the back of it like any other cable box. And
call your cable provider and tell them you got a new modem. They'll ask for the code on the bottom, and that's it.
That's the back right there. Where the blue is, that's the cable connection. You just connect that regular cable connector, and then you have those 2 ports. Usually they have 4.
Yeah.
And you can connect those ports to anything, or even to another, like a wireless switch, like this over here. And then you have wireless in your home. And this is a Wi-Fi version 6.
I think a lot of them are modem/routers in the begin with which you're talking about the 4 ports. So you won't need a separate router for wireless a lot of times, but if you do need more switches, if you need a bunch of switches, you're going to need,
no, I mean, I would go out of this into any other switch. No, don't say hubs. That's the dirty word.
Sorry.
A switch.
Switches. Yeah.
Hubs can only do so much, and then they start crashing into themselves. Switches do exactly that. They switch. I'm gonna give you the whole class on broadcast domains. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, because
Oh,
I have
see if you guys about port forwarding.
I have
This will really bore you to
hubs.
death.
I have hubs.
You have what, Falchion?
I have hubs
Hubs.
around the house. I have a
Did
few
you just?
hubs.
Did you really just say that?
Yep.
You got a brand new Windows X console, and you still rocking a hub?
Hey man.
Like there's one back there.
Oh crap!
There's one upstairs, and there's one in the living room. So yeah.
Plank, disconnect now.
But you know what?
I'm gonna send a surge and burn his hub up.
But who knew? Who knew? Because both my dudes radio silent on all this.
Plank, I'm gonna throw him into a spanning tree loop right now.
Throw me out there like that, yo. And you know, you can ask me questions, you call me. Put the P in the sky.
But Plank, I tell him the same thing.
You know, I had no idea. I didn't know. Like, I don't know what to ask. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to ask.
Falchion, rhetorical question. Don't answer this. How long have I known you? And then how long have I known Plank? Plank called me and said, dude, how do I get multiple cameras without spending too much money? 15-minute conversation. He's doing it for free.
Yep.
He asked Geek.
Quick chit chat. He told me what I needed. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Cool."
You know what? I'm out.
Don't even get me started on headphones. Oh my god! Or don't even get me started on microphones.
Well, you already saw the mic issue I had earlier, so.
But yeah.
But man,
I mean, and understand, I'm going through early adopter problems because I'm on an inside preview build.
I'm gonna call Geek out right now though.
Of Windows 11.
He said, I gotta make a quick 15-minute meeting, blah blah blah. I get him started on this conversation, and he won't stop. He's spouting from last week.
Right? Just maybe a little less hostile.
Guys, I'm gonna go catch this meeting to see if I don't get chewed out over there.
Geek, you're awesome, man. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. I know this ran like a whole hour too long, but I really appreciate you all, and thanks to Geek and Plank here for hanging out. So Plank, why don't you tell them where they can find you?
Oh yeah. So you guys can find me on the Borderless Gaming GSA YouTube page. My name is Plank. I run the show. He's got a knife. Sounds scary, right? I'm a cook. I teach you how to make delicious foods. All right. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/PlankGJE. You can find me on the Instagram, Plank909, PJ Danger on Steam. You know, stop by, say hello. I'm bored a lot.
See, at least he knows where you can find him. For Geek, who never knows, on the Xbox, he's GKMSTR space NYC. On PlayStation, Twitch, Steam, and Discord, he's just GKMSTR. And on Uplay, he's Geekmaster NYC.
And you can find him here on this show. Best show on YouTube.
When he wants to show up.
Like and subscribe.
For sure. And of course, me on PlayStation, Steam, and Twitch, I'm Falchion757. On the Xbox, I'm Falchion Space GSA. And here on YouTube, it's just Borderless Gaming GSA. And if you got questions or topics or answers or criticisms, anything you want to call it, hey, let me know. I'm always happy to listen.
I got a shiny forehead right now because of the lighting. You guys could talk about that in the comment section. I'm blinding everybody.
Hey, we've got some stuff on its way to you. Don't even worry about it. It's in the box. It's in the box. Good night, Keisha.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, yes. Come to that. Like, there's so much. There's a lot. There's a lot.
A new bicycle. I could just start riding right now.
Right now and be here on next week's show. Thank you, Shadow, for hanging out. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Keisha. Thank you, everybody. And until next time, this has been Fauci. You know me. I'm Ghost. Two fingers is peace. Later.
Later.